unconscious marking. Now today, I want you to watch and listen out for other people's unconscious markings. Now, we've already looked at marking things out, both tonally and spatially. What I want you today is to look out for the way that other people do this. Because other people are literally telling you what is important to them by the way they emphasize it with their words and their body language. So if somebody becomes really excited or animated, changes their tonality, rises the volume or the pitch of their voice when they're talking about a specific thing, they're talking about something that's very important for them. If somebody marks space out, for example, if somebody says to you something like, so we just need to get this bit of the business done and then it's really going to take off into the stratosphere. I really feel when we get this part of the business done. Now, if you're going to make now you know this part of the business, they're saying this part of the business here is really important. They're using a different tonality, raised eyebrows, they're using a different voice tone and tempo. They're marking something out. So if you're going to make any kind of remember, this is something that is important to them. It's obvious from their marking of their language, from their body language. It's obvious that this thing is important to them. Now, if you remember that this is important to them, and if you treat it as important as well, because of course it is just point of view, to them maybe it is very important. It's the difference between them having lovely holidays and living in a nice house to working for somebody else for a living. Their business, if we can get this bit of the business, it'll take off into the stratosphere. Now, if you're going to then talk to them, for example, if you said, I see how this part of the business is really exciting for you, I'd love to be a part of this. You are using every part of your non-verbal communication to match this. Now, of course, we're going to match it with other ways as well. I see what you're saying. If it's visual predicates that they use. So remember all of the other stuff that we've used today though, but just today, I want you to listen to the marking that they use tonally, with pitch, with tempo, with volume. Look out for the way that the things that are really important. And when you realise that something is important to this person, then treat it as though it is important, that it's also important to you and to other people. And remember where the places that are important to them, that they just mark out in space. Because if you're going to refer to something that's important, yeah, this part of the business is really important, I'd like to be a part of it as well, or how can you see me being a part of this part of the program or the project? If this is important, you can also use this later on. You can also remember that it's different to making any kind of other gesture. They chose to do this, albeit just automatic, unconscious pattern of behaviour. They just chose to do this in an idle second in their mind. They thought nothing about it when they made this gesture. However, they have now associated this gesture, this voice tonality, this to a certain concept in their mind, to a certain idea that they were relaying to you. It's more important than this gesture. So, the marking that people do, the space and the non-verbal tonality, volume, body language stuff. Watch out for this today. It's amazing how people will nod their head, raise their eyebrows, point towards with the volume of their voice or their tonality. It's amazing how people will point towards the things that really are important to them. And when they mark them out, they're giving you something. They're giving you something. It's so obvious. They're making it so obvious. Then use that as part of your maintaining rapport with people. Have fun with this one today.